Let's discuss Reasonable Doubt, Season 3, Episode 8, entitled Ignorant Shit. And I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 just because of the sheer magnitude of ignorant shit that came out in this episode. And my song of the episode is Anxiety by Doechii. We open the episode with Alex getting knocked the fuck out. And we see that Kristen was actually on the phone with her brother when she told him that, Alex should no longer be an issue. But the plot twist is we see that the person that attacked Alex is actually paying off the mama. So it was the mama that put the hit out on Alex. Jax figures out, based on something that her secretary told her, Daniel's actually sleeping with Ozzy's sister. She confronts Daniel about it after a meeting that they have regarding the next strategy on the case. Daniel goes all by charade joggers, September, summer, spring. Kristen actually tells Ozzy that it was a reporter that told her about Alex's attack, that he was in the hospital, but do we believe her? We know the mama wasn't on it, but do we believe that the sister had nothing to do with it? So we finally find out what Patrick's other secret was. It was just as I predicted. He has another child. Of course he does. It would only make sense for this type of father who's been MIA, a drug addict, to have other children out there in the world. A child that nobody knows about. Her name is Chelsea, and she is played by Lori Harvey. But not only that, but they are some scammers. Because she asked Patrick, have you got the money out of Jax yet? And when he says no, she gets upset. They go back and forth. And she said, I don't need your permission to go talk to my sister. He says, yes, you do. Because then I won't tell Social Security that you are receiving disability benefits for my back that is really not injured. I'm really upset with Lewis because he had the opportunity to actually tell Jax what's going on, the secret that he knows about Patrick, and he is going down the wrong road. Daniel scams his way into Agnes's apartment, is able to grab his notes and his laptop. And on this laptop, we see the video that Alex was threatening to release, and it is a sex tape with Wendy and some unknown African-American man. All we see is his hand. We do not see his face. So this is the secret that Ozzy's mama had over Wendy that she told Ozzy in the first episode. She knew that Wendy was cheating on Ozzy. Jax actually makes Ozzy watch the sex tape. This poor boy is just traumatized to no end. Jax actually has a conversation with Ozzy's mama and asks her outright, did you have anything to do with Alex or Wendy? She dodges the question and she's like, just what do you need from me to make sure that my son stays out of jail? In this week's court scene, first up, we have an expert witness called by Jax that testifies that Wendy's actual cause of death was not the gunshot, but actually a head injury. And then we get Mama the murderer taking the stand. She testifies about Wendy's affair, says that the man in the video is Ozzy's daddy. When I say this family is the very definition of dysfunctional, but it was the dad's reaction in the courtroom that made me suspicious. He did not act like he had just got caught. I'm a murderer, and she is on the stand. She literally throws the daddy under the bus. She destroys his alibi. She accuses him of the one having the affair with Wendy. She testifies that everybody in the family had access to the cabin. Of course, on cross-examination, the only thing the prosecutor could do was say, you lied before about your husband's alibi, so you're obviously a liar, or you're lying then, or you're lying now. That's pretty much all he could do. But the scene after court with the daddy and the mama in the backseat of the car, we find out that the daddy had another mistress named Vanessa. So we see Cash Doll on the podcast with April Jones, of all people. She is calling Ozzy a spoiled little bitch. She also claims that it was not the daddy in the video with Wendy, that she would know who Wendy was sleeping with, and it was not Ozzy's daddy. So she threatens to spill all the tea. Ozzy ends up calling Cash Doll, pretty much scares her out of spilling any other tea. She accuses him of sleeping around to get roles. He accuses her of stealing. But she got so scared by the tone of his voice on that phone call, she goes back online and retracts her story, says she doesn't have anything bad to say about Ozzy. So we get a scene with Sally from the Valley and Bill. They still messing around with each other. They're both on the verge of divorce. Sally has filed her paperwork. Bill at this point had not received his divorce papers. He gets it later in the episode. It was so weird that she asked him to look over her divorce papers. But I guess, whatever free legal advice you can get it how you can. That husband of Sally's is a BN. He comes to the door to talk to her after she finally gets her free consultation out of Bill about what's going on in the divorce papers. He wants full custody of the kids. He wants to take the kids from her just because she lost that house. And he really came to her door like they were still going to be on good terms. And she was like, no, F you in that house. We get a family dinner. It was almost like a family dinner. Patrick finally tells Jax that she has a younger sister, completely throws Lewis under the bus. To forget the fact that I didn't tell you had a sister, but guess what? Your husband knew all this time. So I want you to redirect your anger towards your husband and not on me. So who should Jax be madder at? Her husband Lewis for keeping the secret, or her father, the deadbeat a drug addict, for never telling her that she had a sister? She is really upset at Lewis for keeping the secret and actually hiring a private investigator, her private investigator, to follow her father. Isaac has gotten a pass from the judge to spend an evening with Jax. He's having a hard time trying to deal with the fact that Wendy was sleeping with his father. Jax tried to explain to him that the tape is old, so they actually weren't together at that time, but that doesn't help. The song of the episode is Anxiety, as we see Ozzy still in Mama Lou's meds. And we also see Daniel and Christian together at the apartment. He's going through her stuff when she's away. She is going through his stuff while he's away. So they're both playing each other. There is no hope for this relationship. Luckily, Ozzy does return the meds to Jax on his way out. So we have some hope that Ozzy is dealing with his addiction. In another terrible family moment, we get Ozzy and his family, sister, mother, and father, discussing this tape. It comes out that the tape is fake. Ozzy is like, somebody needs to tell me something or I'm going to start screaming. That's exactly what he does, like a toddler, screaming and banging on the table. The tape is fake. It's not Wendy on the tape. It's actually the father's mistress, Vanessa. So obviously the father got a thing for white women. So does his son. When I say dysfunctional, the mother does not apologize. I know the tape was fake and I used it because I wanted you to break up with Wendy. At this point, we can't put nothing past her mama. She has thrown everybody under the bus. She threw the father under the bus in court. She lied about the tape, so she threw Wendy under the bus. And then the last scenes of the episode, she calls Jax and actually accuses Ozzy of taking Wendy out. I don't think Ozzy did it. Even though he is having these dreams and visions, still seeing Wendy tied up. He wakes up from another dream, having the same vision of Wendy being tied up. He says to his sister that he's not sure. He thinks that he may have been the one to take Wendy out, but I still don't think it was him. I really think that I'm leaning so much more towards the mother. They put everything on the mother, mama, the murderer. Even though she didn't think that Alex was going to pass away from that attack, she still paid for it. It still happened. She has no remorse. She ain't apologized for nothing. She going to throw everybody on the bus to make sure that she's good. So let me know what you thought about the episode and who you think took out Wendy. 2 more episodes to go.